Scent Blocker presents Whitetail Frenzy.
I'm done. I don't want to look at a camera. I don't want to see footage. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear that.
I couldn't take it no more. It was, man, I won't be able to knock a smile off his face with a brick for a long time.
This isn't your average hunting show, and hunting isn't our full-time occupation. We have families, full-time jobs, and face the same struggles as many of you. Months of scouting and preparation for a single short moment in time. That moment when you can't control your breathing and your heart is pounding out of your chest.
Whitetail Frenzy is brought to you by Scent Blocker, Elite Archery, the world's most shootable bow, Dual Game Calls, get real, get dual, Camex Crossbows, built like no other.
Well, this week's episode of Whitetail Frenzy isn't your typical episode. In the last 5 weeks, we've been hunting right here in our home state. I mean, we have jobs and families. This isn't our full-time gig, so we're like you guys, hunting close to home a lot. But I gotta say, this week I'm jealous. You know, I'm not there. You and Alan Tackett, Alan is a pilot in the military. It's his first trip with Whitetail Frenzy. You guys are headed to Kansas. I've never got to hunt Kansas in my life. You see them hunting there on TV all the time. I was excited for you guys to go, but I was disappointed I wasn't going.
Well, Alan and I are headed to Kansas. You know, growing up in southern West Virginia, this was just a dream. It was never a reality to us. I mean, we'd wake up on Sunday mornings, turn the TV on, and there they were, man, hunting Kansas. Big old whitetails, and we were so jealous and so envious of it. And I can remember Kenny and I talking as a kid saying, one day, we're gonna make this happen.
And I can't believe you're going, leaving little brother here.
Hey, you had the option to go. You had the option to go, hey, with family and jobs.
Didn't have enough vacation.
We haven't had so much vacation time, but when this opportunity came up, I made sure that my vacation was put in early. As much time as we spend, making sure that our elite bows are accurate, we can hit exactly where we're aiming, out to 40, 50, even 60 yards, we're comfortable shooting. But when you go to Kansas, it's a different story. I mean, the winds out there, they were 25 to 30 mile an hour on a constant. And I'm not talking about gust up to 25 or 30. I'm talking about a constant wind flow of 25 or 30 mile an hour. With that, we realized that our shots, we were not going to take a shot over 30 yards.
All right, here we are. We're in Kansas, baby. My first time. I'm so excited. I've only driven through this place a couple times in my life, but I've never had the opportunity to hunt it. So here I am, southern Kansas, Kiowa County. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. The crazy thing is I look out, and when I look, I see 6 or 7 trees that are within 40 yards of me. Other than that, I see nothing. But they're telling me that this is the place. This is the place to be. This was this thing they call Grandma's house. So we're set up over a little water hole right here with a food plot. It's got giant scrapes all around us, right in the middle of the rut. You couldn't ask for anything more.
Aaron, they said we're going to Grandma's.
I know.
It'll be in Grandma's backyard.
Yeah,
The deer come to get some pink lemonade.
Yeah, I hope she has some cheesecake in the window, so I might sneak over and get some.
Whitetail Frenzy is brought to you by Rambo Bikes and X-Stand Tree Stands, Slick Trick Broadheads, the original all-steel broadhead, Slash Arrows with integrated blade technology. Order using promo code Whitetail Frenzy. Custom bow equipment, competition-inspired hunting sights, covert scouting cameras. Size does matter. Custard Stand, the world's finest ready-to-eat hot dog chili. Hatfield McCoy Trails, offering some of the best off-road trail systems on Earth.
It's mid-November with Hang'em Outfitters here in Kansas. Hope one comes walking through here. We can put one of these Slash Arrows to work. Got his first blood. Thought I heard one grunt about 20 minutes ago. And boom, here comes this monster in. Holy crap. He's a Big 10 with stickers. Man, this is why you come to Kansas. Holy crap. Man. Oh, I just smoked a giant. He went down right over there. That's why you shoot Slash Arrows for, because they just knock them down. Holy crap.
You know, back with Hang'em Outfitters, we've been watching bucks. I mean, just, you know, I've only been here 2 days and I've already seen, what is this now, 6-shooter bucks? Man. Thank you, Lord. What a buck. Biggest buck of my life right here, man, with a bow.
This is my first year with Whitetail Frenzy, and I shoot the biggest buck of my life in Kansas. I can't be more excited. I'm just happy that they let me come out this year and do some outdoor television, and I shoot my biggest buck.
What's up, man? You letting the rookie draw first blood?
You know, I had an opportunity. You know, the first evening, a big buck came in, but once again, it's my luck, low camera light, so I elected, you know, not to shoot. Plus, I'm in Kansas. I mean, the first day in stand with Hang'em Outfitters, who's going to take a shot at a 130-inch deer when you know what's walking around?
There are giants rolling around, but I still want to congratulate Alan. You know, Alan Tackett he's grew up in Cabin Creek. We've known Alan for a long time. Went to high school with Alan. He just joined the team. You know, Alan is one of those guys that he joined the military. He's made sacrifices so that we were able to live in the greatest country in the world. He's a pilot in the military, and this was Alan's biggest buck of his life. His first trip to Kansas, to go on a dream hunt and to do it on national TV and to be able to share it with you guys, you know, from where we come from, it's just a really big thing. Congrats, Alan. That was an awesome hunt. Now, while Aaron and Alan are in Kansas on a dream hunt, the rest of us average folk here on Whitetail Frenzy, we're hunting whitetail in the mountains of West Virginia, where outside of the 4 bow hunting only counties, the buck to doe ratio is like 1 to 27, and the hunter to buck ratio is about 22 to 1. But let's fast forward a little bit to after the West Virginia gun season. I'm putting covert trail cameras everywhere, putting out feed sources. I mean, trying to find a big mature buck after the gun season here in West Virginia is really tough. I don't even know how they make it through the season. I mean, when the Orange Army hits the woods here in West Virginia, I mean, deer get mowed down. But I'm not saying that in a bad way. You know, hunting here in West Virginia is a big deal. It's a tradition. People get out there with their families and friends and have a good time, put meat in the freezer. A lot of people, if it's brown, it's down. That's okay as long as they're doing it legally and ethically. But I'll tell you what, it makes bow hunting late season tough. So I got the covert trail cameras out. I am trying to do everything I can to find a big buck.
It's late December. Just got set up this afternoon in my home state of West Virginia. I still have a couple bow tags I can feel. You know, I've been struggling late season trying to get on a big buck, and I got one buck in here. You guys are probably gonna bash me if I end up shooting him, but he's just a 5-point but he's 3 years old. You know, he's not mature, but he's at an age where he's only a 5-point. He's got a little short brow tine on one side, 2 little short G2s, decent frame. He's not what I'm wanting to hunt this season, but for me to have a buck that I can target right now, I'm pretty excited. He's been showing up pretty consistent on the covert camera. And there's another buck that I've got pictures of him a couple different times. You know, once every 2 or 3 weeks, I'll get a picture of him. He's a giant. He's a big buck. He's a mainframe 10 with a forked brow. You know, you never know when he's going to come strolling through.
So as I'm sitting in the stand, I have some deer underneath me, and I know there's only a few days left in the West Virginia bow season, so my chances of getting out there and putting some more meat in the freezer are limited. I'm thinking real hard about putting the smack down on this big doe underneath my stand, and right as I'm getting ready to draw back, she happens to look up the hill behind my stand, and she's looking like there's something coming, and I decide, you know what, I'm going to hold off. Maybe that big buck's coming down the hill, but I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that it's not another hunter or a coyote or something like that that's going to spook these deer and completely ruin the hunt.
Oh my gosh, that's a giant. Oh, it's a giant. He's going down. Yeah, he's down. He's down. You baby big doggy. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. What a huge buck. Oh my God, that thing is a freaking West Virginia giant. Oh my gosh, I got pictures of one big buck in here a while back. I don't know if it's him or not, but just one time, that's it. Or no, twice. One time during the day, one time during the night, but that's it all season. And he just showed up out of nowhere. Oh, thank you, God. All I gotta say is, my release was hooked. I was getting ready to smoke that doe, and she looked up. Thank you, Jesus, because if she wouldn't have looked up when she did, I would have shot and he would have bolted. What a freaking giant here, baby. Big buck down, West Virginia. Yeah, baby. Yes. Gosh, look at this buck. Holy yeah, look at this West Virginia late season bow kill. My goodness gracious. Look at this guy. Tell you what, I just drug him off this hill here. I didn't have a tripod with me by myself, so I can get the camera above it. It's a little darker down in here. I'm losing camera light pretty quick, but man, look at the tines on this sucker. Crab claws at the end, and I didn't know he had all this junk. My goodness, he's got 3 kickers back here. 2 of them are gonna be an inch long, are gonna be scoreable. Got a kicker right here, so he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 scoreable points. Tell you what, I couldn't be happier. I am a happy man right here. Look at the head on this deer. You talk about a mature buck. I guarantee you this sucker is 5+ years old. Big old West Virginia whitetail. Man, what an awesome deer. He's been tearing trees up. The bases on this sucker, I bet he's got 6.5-inch bases at the bottom on this side and probably 5 on this side. Man, look at him. Oh gosh, thank you, Lord. Tell you what, if that doe wouldn't have looked up when she did, I would have let an arrow fly on that doe, and this guy probably would have been bouncing through the woods. He was limping pretty bad. I don't know, something happened to his leg or what. He was limping on one of his legs. I don't see anything, but when I skin him out, I'll try to find it. God, got some big old paws. This is a huge, huge body deer. Man, I'm pumped.
Whitetail Frenzy is brought to you by Scott Releases, the #1 name in the release game. Whitetail Trail Mix. Go to whitetailtrailmix.com to find your closest dealer. Lethal Addiction Mineral and Attractant. Warner Law Offices. Call 304-345-6789. Peanut addiction. The addiction is real. Cirrus Wind Indicator. Order at cirrusoutdoors.com using promo code Whitetail Frenzy. Whitetail Frenzy is also brought to you by the following partners.
Cold and windy. Actually, it's not real cold. It's like 40 degrees, but it's 20-mile-an-hour wind. Oh my goodness, it makes it feel like it's about 10 out here. But we're in a new spot, new setup this morning. Anything can happen. He's got about a 4-inch G3 on his left.
So you all got to see Alan Tackett take the biggest buck of his life, and I knocked down a bruiser of a buck here in West Virginia. But Aaron, on the other hand, he has a long ride back from Kansas because he's coming home eating a tag. But it wasn't because he didn't have an opportunity. The biggest buck we've ever got on film here at Whitetail Frenzy came in at 22 yards. Matt Lonsinger was filming, had great footage of the deer, but when the deer came out of the open into the canopy of the woods were a lot darker, the screen was too dark. Matt called Aaron off. He didn't get the camera adjusted in time before the deer stepped out of the shooting lane. I mean, Aaron's at full draw, 22 yards. AD, you're a better man than me because I would have let an arrow fly. That deer was an absolute giant. But it gets even worse. The worst part about this whole thing is when we sat down to go through this footage to produce this episode, the footage of Aaron's last few days hunting, it was gone. Matt or Aaron, one of them did not save the footage correctly. It's nowhere to be found. And Aaron, he was threatening to kick Matt's ass. Matt, he was threatening to try to kick Aaron's ass. These guys were going at it like cats and dogs. They were both furious, putting blame on each other. I hate it for both of them because it was a giant. But when they went back to camp that night, I think Alan was filming footage of them all sitting in the living room reviewing the footage of that deer. So that footage is there. So we know the buck was filmed. We know the footage was there, but I hate it because they didn't do their job saving the footage correctly.
Okay, it was like that coming up over top really funny.
I mean, you can't even use that because that's just way too fake. Nobody's going to believe that.
That was 100% true.
Literally,
Okay.
it came right back.
I thought he was going to come right down underneath us.
We're on our 5th season now, and we've had some ups and downs, and it's been an emotional roller coaster. But up until this hunt, I have never wanted to just say I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to look at a camera. I don't want to see footage. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear that. I was ready to hang it all up after this encounter.
Oh, yeah, right there he is.
Oh,
Well,
he's
listen
further
to
out,
this.
You said it.
Did I already say it? I was like, don't go in there. Well, he comes back through, just no shot. I knew he was coming right here. I thought for an instant he was going to turn and come out right there at the scrape underneath us, but he kept going.
You might not want to watch this part.
Oh, this part's not bothers me, 'cause I didn't have a shot here. I mean, I have no shot here. This part doesn't bother me. It's the time before that bothers me.
I had a decent camera on this one.
That's why you come to Kansas.
Oh,
Yes.
no doubt.
Yes.
See, if he
If he'd
would've
have
took
stayed
the-
on the other trail,
Yep.
we'd have been fine. You could have shot him as soon as he crossed that little ravine.
Yep.
Well, there's something making weird noises on the other trail. He's not going to take that one.
That's throwing me up there, Aaron.
Well, all I know is that I want to go to Kansas and I want to go hunt with Hang'em Outfitters because you guys had I know you didn't get a deer, but that's an encounter that most whitetail hunters they'll never have an encounter like that in their life, especially if they're living around an area like we live.
Well, it's regardless where you live. A Boone and Crockett buck is not one of those animals that they're not behind every tree.
No,
I don't
they're
care
not.
where you go. I don't, we've been to Saskatchewan, we hunt Ohio. I've been to Missouri. I've been privileged to hunt those
Yep.
places, been very blessed. And this is my second encounter of my lifetime.
All of our years hunting.
Of my lifetime, not just filming, but of my lifetime that I've had an encounter
Yep.
with a legit, 170
Yeah.
plus Boone and Crockett
Yeah.
whitetail.
And I know a lot of times we see on TV, and we've personally seen bucks killed, and we're like, man, is that really a booner?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this buck was killed. It was scored. It was
Yes.
in the 170s.
Yes.
That is just a prime example of what it truly takes for a buck to score 170. I've seen two in my whole life, my entire life. I've seen two bucks that I know are over 170, and that's it. And I've hunted a long time, hunted a lot of places, and to have one, I've never had an encounter to where it was that close though. I know your heart has to be broken.
22 yards. 22 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I had it one time at 22, and another time at about 30 yards with no shot. So
That's what it's about though, those experiences. That's something you're never going to forget your entire life, whether you killed the deer or not. And we want to thank Hang'em Outfitters for having you guys out there. Looks like you guys had a blast. And as I always say, thanks for watching Whitetail Frenzy. You're watching a couple average guys and our buddies. We have full-time jobs and families. This isn't our full-time gig. Without you all support, without your viewership, we couldn't do this.
yeah, so make sure to go to Facebook. Like I said, every week, give us a like, okay? And keep the questions coming. I love these questions. I love it because I learn just as much from you as what you hopefully do from us.
Yeah, we're not pro hunters. We're
Oh,
trying to
no.
learn. We learn on every experience, and we just get to share the memories with you guys. But we do. We love the insight. We love the feedback. Go to Facebook, give us a like, and tune in next week. Same time, same place. Catch us again right here on Whitetail Frenzy.